You're okay, so we're back with chapter 3 of The Moment the Man Demands. Still good, still good. I've not been disappointed yet. A chapter. If you haven't watched the other two videos on chapter 1 and 2, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and do that. Chapter 3, I'm gonna be running down in order each of the points that hit home first for me. So first point, the comprehensive man seeks out resources that helps him process past traumas so he can overcome them. With that, I feel a lot of the times we feel as we can take on challenges ourselves. It comes down to knowing that you can't handle everything yourself, especially when it comes to spiritual things where your mind will work against you or your heart might work against you, and you need that outside perspective or that fresh Rima to help you overcome whatever it is that you're going through at that moment. So I think that's really important. The next point, cognitive counterpunching, actually demystifies the saying, something that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And he talks about this in the book where if he runs out into the middle of the street and almost gets hit by a car and it misses, it's like, whoa, I'm a lot faster now. No, it's not the case. You actually thinking about how you can better handle the situation, either based off of the situation happening again to you and you knowing how you want to move differently this time, or you taking the time to analyze the situation and then take that step forward is more important than it is you just being what he leads to in the next point of the lion and the lamb, which he talks about in the chapter as a man having to be able to switch between both the lion and the lamb. So the lion is that strength, that fight or flight instinct when you yourself or your family's in danger. That's what the lion is categorized as. Where the lamb is more on the peaceful, calm side, which is avoiding with grace and using patience, something completely opposite of that. So he mentions you having to be able to flow between the two when the situation needs you to, because sometimes if you go in it with the lamb mentality, you get the too nice of a guy thing and you allow people to disrespect you and you're not actually earning respect. And sometimes if you go about it too aggressively, which is the lion, then you're overdoing it and it can cause more harm for you than it does be to your benefit. Thought that also was a solid point, because being able to flip between the two, or just flip the switch in general, which is also something he mentions in the book or in this chapter, which was like the last point, is you have to be able to flip between the two and also be aware that the areas of your life that allow you to continue to be either one or the other, when it comes to you're too much of a lion or you're too much of the lamb, it's usually because of something that you're stunted in emotionally. And he mentions you have to be able to flip that switch and bring light to those areas that keep you in the darkness, because once you're aware of it, then you can start really fine-tuning how you want to move and when are the best cases for you to be the lion or the lamb. So I thought it was very, very interesting. He brings in an example of a man who's at work and how he would cancel out advances gracefully from a woman who's trying to show that she's interested, but he's married. It was strategic. It wasn't so brash. It was very wise. And showed how that situation needed to be handled versus how it could have been handled, which would have changed the outcome completely. So him breaking down the fighter in this entire chapter was super intriguing to me, because I never looked at flowing between the two or knowing that that was even an option where it was okay. I've always, as a man, thought you should be able to take care of things with the lion attitude, like strong and moving forward, never letting somebody punk you, or you just think that that's just the way to go about it. And he says, like, even a lion needs 24 hours to rest in between fights. So if that's the case, I need to be able to switch between getting that rest and moving about it with the lamb approach, and then being ready for the things that are super important where I'm already trained to go. Very insightful chapter on the fighter, and definitely put a new perspective on how I would like to be in the future, and just giving myself that check before I move when a situation happens where I have to choose between the two of them, whether I'm the lion or the lamb. So overall, great chapter. Was a little bit on the shorter side when it comes to things that I covered, because we're in the first characteristics and the next one up is going to be the provider. But yeah, so far we're 3 deep and it's great. And I love all the questions, the comments, and the chats that we can have about this in the comments. if we choose to do so. So don't be shy to put that down there if you do have something that you want to say, like we're all going through this together. And again, reading the book, following along, if you want to be able to throw your spin in there as well, is dope. So as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back with chapter 4. Jay, out.